Hey, and welcome back. I'm Rob, aka ShipDriver71, and today we will be virtually visiting Kalispell, Montana, in Glacier Park International Airport by Turbulent Designs, the brainchild of Russ White, who gained prominence doing sceneries for ORBX. Speaking of which, this airport is nestled within the Northern Rocky Mountain FTX region from ORBX, which is itself really nice. But getting back to the airport scenery, I had a blast here, because during the day one can really run fairly high settings, which really added to the view on this cloudy day. Kind of like Turbulent's other Northwest airport, Idaho Falls, this is located in a flat area, but within shouting distance of the mountains, in Glacier National Park, which is the namesake of the airport. The coverage of the airport is really not very big, and when one flies over the Flathead River, one can see the boundary between the KGPI photo textures and the underlying land class scenery. On land, the difference is more subtle, but that has more to do with how well ORBX made the land class tiles here. In addition to the photo scenery coverage area, which also includes a nearby mountain, the houses and trees are superb, using Turbulent's own Terraflora trees. There is an option for numerous static aircraft at the airport as well, which I utilized here, and turned AI traffic way down, which probably did help performance even more. All of the aircraft that you see here, save for my Milviz 310R, are the airport's static aircraft. Here we are heading over Lake Blaine as we turn back towards the airport and Kalispell. As can be seen on the Flathead River behind the aircraft, to the left is the photo scenery, and to the right is the land class scenery. One great thing about being able to run pretty high settings in this area though, look at those cloud shadows. That's one thing I could have activated, and on a day like this, that really added to the visual appeal of this area, because it was fairly cloudy. You could really see those sun breaks and those cloud shadows on the surface of the planet. And here I've got a GoPro mounted on the tip of the right wing, and we're going to make a little pass by the airport, free of the clutter of the actual aircraft itself. And now it's time to bring the Milviz 310R Redux back around for our final approach to runway 2 at Glacier Park International Airport. I have to say, I really like this scenery. And as we taxi back to our parking spot and we're passing by the main terminal there, I thought we'd actually pull in. It's not the normal path for GA aircraft to go in here, but, you know, yeah, let's take a closer look at the terminal. Now that little Delta jet there, that's a static aircraft as well. And it's a pretty nice looking terminal. It's got the SODI jetways, I think that's how you say it, SODI. Well equipped, obviously not a major international airport despite its name, but very well done. The ground equipment looks awesome. And here we're going back around to our parking spot, and those fire trucks are really nice looking. Another aspect of the scenery that I really wanted to point out, and actually you could have spotted it at several points earlier in the video, but these water puddles on the tarmac, they've got the reflections in them, so it actually looks like there's water in there. It's pretty darn cool. I've also included some nighttime shots with the scenery's dynamic lighting. This is probably the only complaint I have about the scenery. While they look fantastic, except for the beacon on the tower, which is basically invisible, the frame rate hit was significant, even with major reductions in settings, which I normally do at night anyways. In fact, I can go to a much larger airport with dynamic lighting with a much smaller FPS hit than here. An example would be Flightbeam's KSFO, where I actually had higher frame rates while in the iFly 737NG than I did here while looking at the terminal using my little EZDock World Cam. Even after doing the standard 360-degree spin around, which usually works in other areas where dynamic lighting creates a FPS hit. In fact, the only way I got any smooth motion for this video here was by reducing the simulation speed to minimum and speeding it back up in the video editor. This probably means that I will focus on daytime flying here, despite the sheer beauty of these dynamic lights, until that can be better optimized, although more investigation is warranted. Overall though, this is a fantastic airport in a beautifully rendered area, which during the daytime had excellent performance, and I highly recommend it. Well, I hope you liked what you saw. If so, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next destination.